You are listening to the strongest podcast in CrossFit. This is the Type1 Lifting Podcast. Before we start the show, I'd like to thank the sponsors that are helping this podcast grow. The first one is Liberté Lifestyle. Liberté Lifestyle have the best knee sleeves in the game. I've worn all different types of knee sleeves, and I always go back to Liberté. They're super durable, they don't rip, and they last a very, very long time. So go check out Liberté Lifestyle and check out all the different styles of knee sleeves that they have. And then the next one we have is Hero Barbell. Hero Barbell is the fastest growing barbell company in the functional fitness community. Their barbells have all different colors, all different designs, super comfortable. The knurlings are amazing, and the spin on these barbells are absolutely insane. So go to Hero Barbell to check out all the different type of barbells that they have in stock. And then the last one is Sharpen the Axe. Sharpen the Axe, I've been wearing their clothes for multiple years. They're long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, shorts. I always wear them. You may have even seen them on the podcast before they became a sponsor. Super comfortable. The shorts I always wear working out because I just feel like they're a better fit for me compared to the Nikes or any other shorts in the game. So all these companies, I have a promo code. It's all Type1. So click Type1 in all the promo code sections and you get 10% off of every item you get. So once again, thank you for these companies to help this podcast grow, and let's go to the show. All right, guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Type1 Lifting Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is the strongest podcast in the CrossFit space. I am Thomas Lennon, and over here I got Xander Fallek, and we have a guest, Dex Hopkins, coming on a little bit later, but he's running a little late, so I wanted to start it anyways. But Xander, how was your Memorial Day, and did you do Murph?
Great Memorial Day. I was down in Austin for a few days with some friends. Spent some time by the pool, got a lot of coffee, went to a fun gym that I dropped in at called Collective. I did not do Murph today because I drove home 7 hours.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. So funny story for me is I did Murph today, but the day before, there is this girl that like trains at my gym. She does like CrossFit style workouts.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, are you doing Murph? And she's like, no, I was going to do it today, but why are you doing it tomorrow? And I was like, yes. And now she's like, well, what time are you going to do it? And I'm like 5, I'll be at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. And so she was like, I'm not good at pull-ups or anything like that. I'm like, just use bands. I do not care. I just need someone with me just to kind of push me a little bit. And I went full dummy on the first mile.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah. And another thing, well, thank God I partitioned it. I typically go straight through the whole way, like 100, 200, 300. But I partitioned it. Like when I got to the squats,
Wait, hold on. What was your partition strategy?
So it was 5, 10, 15.
Okay, you did Cindy. Got it.
Yeah. So at the 15 squats, my legs were on fire. And I was like, oh, God, this is stupid.
You just went full luck it. That's all you did.
Pretty much. And then on the plus side, though, I made it through all 5 of the pull-ups with no issues. Like I held onto the bar the whole time, did not like break it up or anything like that.
Good. Hey, I'm just happy you broke an hour.
Yeah, it was under an hour. So first time ever. But it was crazy because we were running on treadmills for that mile. And so I was like, yeah, I know it was like the middle of it was like really dark out.
No. It's fine to run on a treadmill. I just know you bumped up the speed because you're like, oh, I'm on a treadmill. It's easier.
Mistakes. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's like, you completely fooled about and found out.
Yes. And so the last mile I did, I was 0.2 miles away from finishing. And all of a sudden my treadmill just stopped. The power went out. And I was like, shit. And so it was funny. Like there's a guy two runners over. he had the same problem, but his machine shut off too, and he's like, "What the hell?" So I'm like frantically like trying to figure a way where I'm gonna go.
I
And so I
need to
got
run
it.
400 meters. How
Yeah.
do I do this?
And
Please.
so I ran to like one of the farthest treadmill and just went full dummy, just like sprinted as fast as I can. I finally made it with like 3 seconds left before that hour was over.
God. Well, hey, great job.
Yeah.
You panic ran, and you got it done.
Yeah, I was close to, I was so close to just running outside, but then all of a sudden I was like, I'll just stay here. But yeah, my legs are still sore. I literally used a massage
You're gonna
gun.
not have your morning tomorrow is gonna be terrible, and you know
I know.
this.
Well. On the plus side, I used a massage gun 3 times, and
Cool.
then I stretched my quads a lot today. So
Okay, there we
I,
go.
I'm hope
Maintenance, helpful.
I'm hope cross my fingers. I'm hoping I won't be as sore as I think I might be.
Okay, hopefully.
Hopefully, cross my fingers. I'm still gonna go work out tomorrow. But that the girl I trained with, she's like, I think I might take a rest day tomorrow, and I was like,
Probably for the best for her.
yeah,
Like she
yes,
does not need that in her life whatsoever.
no, and she was beating me like halfway into the actually no, two-thirds into the whole workout,
Good for her.
and I was like, I was dying. And plus, I'm an idiot too. I had a piece of Carvel ice cream cake the night before, and it was just like sitting in my stomach the whole time. I know. I don't
Everyone
think.
at home, I just shook my head and just pure shame. It's like, so, you had high blood sugar. Like you're just really just setting yourself up for success here, aren't you, pal?
Listen, I cannot like if Carvel if there was Carvel ice cream cake around, I am eating it.
That's fair.
Not
Carvel
once.
ice cream cakes is some of the best out there, honestly.
I don't care for any other cake except for Carvel ice cream. Sponsor me, please. So, but but yeah, so that was pretty much the gist of my morning. And but yeah, but other than that, how's training going for you?
It's great. I am enjoying it quite a bit right now. So, trying to
Are you
what?
still doing like the running training at all or
No, like I'm running 2 days a week, but nothing
okay.
super crazy. I want to snatch 275 by the end of the year.
Shit.
So I've been doing a bunch of like squat holds, overhead squat holds, dead hangs, um, just a bunch of nonsense. So it is brutal right now.
Yeah.
And
Are you going to Misfit training camp
in
in
Philly,
Philly? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go, but of course I'm not going to go. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
it should be
it's
fun.
like anything else CrossFit related. It's like I'll go. It's like you won't go. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You can do it.
Brandon Luckett was giving me shit too. He's like, you got to go to some of these events, and I'm like, I don't know if I be able to, but we'll see.
Yep, got to go to an
So,
event sometime.
yeah. So So do you know like how Misfit Athletics like picks the areas where they do the camps at all, or
Well, like the past 3 years, there was a little virus.
yes,
So most of the camps have been at HQ. Typically, when like other gyms want to host, and if you participated on a Discord, they were asking for gyms like if anybody wanted to host a camp, because
Mhm.
people were asking about it. And so the gym they chose, CrossFit Raid, Justin Rementer and his wife Melanie. Own that gym in Philadelphia, and I know them, and they reached out about like, hey, can we host? Can you guys do a camp if we host down in Philly?
Okay.
So
So is it like in the city or is it like on the outskirts?
I am not sure. I have not looked it up at all. I know signups are through the 31st. We need a few more to make sure that camp happens. I know it's in the Philly area, but it's definitely not in the city because the city's not
Packed.
the best.
Not the best.
Not the
Yes.
best.
Yeah. If anybody has a chance, this is for the listeners. If anybody has a chance to go to one of these camps for Misfit, I mean, to be honest with you,
Do it
I've
for
heard,
Tom.
yeah, do it for me, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I mean, they help you with your called an athlete IQ, just like learning about how to pace, how to do the workouts, and like kind of think about how to execute some of these workouts as well. And it's fun too.
Yeah, it's typically 2.5 days. It's uh, warm up, movement, like to critique and make sure everyone's on the same page, workout, and then like that's usually what it is for like it's a Friday evening, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. And on Saturday, Sunday, there is a what do I want to call them? Like more of a seminar. Like if anybody's had their L1, it's typically like a pre just talk, just about mindset, nutrition, uh, goal setting, those types of things, especially as competitors. And again, it's a competitor program, but the level is much more like brought back to make sure that everyone's on the same page. This isn't like a like quarterfinals prep camp or something like that. This is more for the entire community. If you're new to CrossFit, you've been doing it for years, you're interested in just kind of just seeing another way of programming or something else, definitely show up, and that's what you're going to end up receiving from all the coaches and the staff.
Yeah. So if you're like Xander said, if you're brand new, just go to the camp. You'll learn a whole lot of stuff, and you get to see
Yeah,
some stud athletes too as well, and meet some people that could be your friends for life.
yeah, like maybe some games athletes will show up that you're interested in. Caroline Connors and Paige Semenza, maybe probably Austin if he can get the time off, or whomever else shows up. So it'll be a great time. Just definitely be there in October in Philly, fall time, Northeast, perfect time to be there.
Yeah, yeah. So since you said Caroline and Austin, so are they still in Virginia? Like, what's the whole deal with that? Or are they back up in Maine?
They, no, they moved to Virginia. They're coaching at CrossFit Krypton. They work at Krypton,
Oh, oh,
and
okay,
so they're
okay.
doing Indy. And so they're competing this weekend. It's so strange because they finally like I've just been waiting 2 weeks for my friends, and I'm just like, can they just compete now? Because I really just want to watch this.
Yeah, yeah. So are they part of Are they still part of Misfit, or are they just
Mhm.
working with
They're
Krypton?
just working. They're like affiliate coaches.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Yeah, at least they get Ben Smith to kind of look over them and kind of
Oh yeah.
critique them
Like Ben's
too. So
there. Yeah. So I think Ben qualified for semis.
did
Might be.
he?
I'm probably wrong about this. I'm probably just trying to. I'm mixing up last year. So
Well, speaking of
Ben's
semis, what did you?
stupid strong.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So what do you think about semis this year? Like, do you think the right people made it into the CrossFit Games, or the workouts are like kind of not what you were looking for?
No, it's like it's objectively a very good test with through all six workouts. If you really try to lay them out, because of the like monostructural weightlifting one, that's going to just jack your heart rate. Um, it's one of those things where I wish the American attendance was better. The European and the Australians do such a good job of packing stadiums for those things. Like it's lackluster, especially being in Carson, if I'm just going to say that. And that's, again, like, how do you get buzz, generate people to go, especially when, like, if you look at the entire, like, West competitors and where they
Hmm.
came from, most of those folks are not from California.
Nope.
They have a couple, like the team side, it was a bunch from San Diego because of Invictus. But
Yeah.
again, if you're having people from Canada, like it's like it depends. Texas, like it's not exactly the easiest place to travel. Like you can get to LA, but it's like, do people want to travel? Because I saw some folks. It's like, hey, back in the day, they filled up Del Mar. It's like, well, they filled Del Mar because all of California was there and it was drivable.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And also, you would think that it's Carson and it's the tennis stadium and all that history from
Yeah,
back in the day. You would see like more and more people. And I was watching some of the live streams, and even people were commenting on the live chat, like Europeans and Australians being like, what, why can't the Americans like fill up their stadiums?
I think it's also one of those tough weekends where it's like, okay, it's a
It's
lot of
Memorial
schools are
Day. Yeah.
ending. It's Memorial Day
Mhm.
weekend. Like that's a very tough weekend, even though that's when the West, like that, the uh, what was it, NorCal? Yeah, I think it was the NorCal region was where
Mhm.
Del Mar is, and the California Super region. Like that's where they competed. Like it was always this weekend. It's just hard. Like I don't know if it was like so. A lot of kids are getting out of school unless you're in the Northeast, East Coast kids, because they'll go through June. holiday. So that leads to holidays, traveling for sports for their like other people's
Yep.
kids or something else. It's just one of those not exactly like a cool place because you're covered in the tennis stadium anyway. So there's that
Hmm.
too to compete with.
Yeah. Yep. And also, I have some concerns about Knoxville too. I don't think that place is going to fill up either.
Hey, I'm hoping you go buy your tickets, go. Like I'm
Yeah.
one of those folks that I'm just going to tell people to go buy tickets.
Hmm.
I'm hoping it's not the same thing. Syndicate typically has a pretty good crowd. I'm just hoping a ton of people show up and show out for them because that's
Yeah.
like the best thing to do for like the sport and the athletes and trying to figure out ways to generate that type of buzz and activity.
Now, do you think if they moved it to Nashville or some place close to Nashville, it'd be a little bit better?
No, like I think it's all like moving it in Tennessee, maybe, like I can't like you're just moving it a couple hours one way, like that's the thing. It's like you're just moving it. It's like, is it better if it was in like Baltimore, where I believe 12 Labors and the um, folks who own that gym run syndicate,
Hmm.
if that would be better, or just putting it back in, just going to like Florida like they did last year. I'm just
Yeah.
hoping like it just like they're able to kind of, again, it's this whole, is CrossFit in charge of these events or are they not in charge? Like we just also keep flip flopping. So I'm not going to put this on the organizers' expense because they keep
They're doing the best they
not
can.
running it and then not and then doing it. It's like, guys, like we don't have there again consistency.
Hmm. Do you think that CrossFit Media needs to do like more
What media?
promoting? Well, exactly.
You mean
That's what I'm
CrossFit? Like
saying.
eight? Like that's the thing. It's like you're saying, like you're asking for HQ.
Hmm. How?
So if from an HQ perspective, yeah, like we would hope. Like again, they're a business. I think it's just keeps being the same talking points and trying to find a way. It's like, okay, are they wanting to grow the sport? Are they trying to monetize the affiliates? Like what's like, and again, Don, like I think they're just working through it. Like they're trying to figure it out. Like there's no perfect answers to any of this stuff
Hmm.
because everyone's just going to be like, hey, let's just go back to regionals or super regionals. And it's like, guys, like we're going to change the season structure again
Again,
for
yeah.
like that. It's like, let's start getting some consistency for a few years before we start implementing new things again.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe I was looking at like not the Google Analytics. I was looking at some analytics like for something I forget, for like maybe my YouTube channel or whatnot. So but like in like 2008 or not 8, 2012 or 14, that was like the big boom of CrossFit roughly for like
Mhm.
the all like the for like SEO or anybody like, Google searching
I could believe
CrossFit.
that because that's
Yeah.
like right around when I found CrossFit too.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the big thing. So if that's the uh, normal, like when people like, so Froning takes over, a lot of expansion. HQ has an in-house media team that's full-time staff. That is no longer
Mhm.
the case, I believe.
No.
So,
No.
from my understanding, that's not the case. It's just that's not what they wanted to do, and they've been slowly and surely like letting media staff go over the past 5 years because it all started
Which
in
is,
20. No, it started in 2018 because 2019 was the sectionals year. So six
yeah,
years.
and like that's like the media is like one of the most important
Yeah,
things. Or
and
not
so
not even like just regular media, just like social media, like, people that actually know the sport and know what's going on, and can like pump out content like all the time.
but it's an expense and it's like, hey, if we're just trying to monetize affiliates, like do we want to do this themselves? Like the thing is, like there's a lot of other great content out there that are trying to cover the sport and do it in a great way, outside of us. Like Brian Friend does a great job, Lauren Khalil, great friend of mine, like she does a great job.
Hmm.
um, so Be Friendly podcast, Bella Martin, and uh, PC and the Pups, like I love those guys. Like those are people like that are trying to grow it and cover it in a way, and they're trying to just make, like, again, it's a business side and it's growing. Like how many affiliates can we have? Like it's growing the space, and it's there's also just a lot of like there's a lot of other things to do and compete with. Like NBA, NHL is going on this weekend. Like,
Yep.
again, like there's not just one thing. It takes time. And if we're just trying to yearn for like the golden years, if that's what we want to call it, of 20, let's
Yeah.
call it
Never gonna happen.
2011 and 2016, like, right? Like those are probably some of the best years
Hmm.
of things just because it was Froning wins four. Hey, Frazier's going to take over. He ends up losing to Ben. Ben, and then Frazier comes back and then just starts his reign of dominance. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like we need that. It's just trying to find the ways to how can we encourage everybody and grow the sport instead of just, again, I'm not somebody who's trying to just poop on the entire sport. I would like to grow it and quit critiquing everything. And it's like, okay, so, okay, here's critiques. What are ways to fix this? Like, how can we, like, how can everybody bring the community in doing it? And I think it's just the local level has to encourage, like, CrossFit at home and what it does for your community and the sport of CrossFit are really competing ideologies at the end of the day. Like, and that's the
Yeah.
tough part. Even though the beauty of CrossFit, there's a ton of it, especially on the sports side, but it's also amazing what it does for like health and fitness, just for your mom and dad, Mary
Hmm.
Jane and Joe Bob down the street.
Yeah. And it's funny, like the majority of the people that do CrossFit don't even really care about the CrossFit games.
Yeah, like that's also, and like that's totally okay. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like at the end of the day, it's like not everybody's gonna go to the games anyway, and it takes a lot of hard work to get there. Like who punched their ticket for the first time is an indie. Let's say Kyra
Uh,
Milligan this year,
yep. And
this
then
weekend. Amy Kringle.
Chris Ibarra.
Yep. It's like it takes many years to get to your first CrossFit games, let alone doing 11.
Hmm.
BKG and Cole. So it's just, and you just gotta like, you gotta want it. And so it's just one of those things where it's just hard. And
Yeah.
it's, I think it starts at a local level to be like, hey, let's all watch like watch it at home. Like if you're in Maine, if you're in Pennsylvania, like you're not probably not traveling, right? But you can at least get like some people over, watch the heats, commentary, like those kinds of things. And it's like, okay, cool. Like that's what we have to do at the local level. But it's
Hmm.
there's so much content. Like again, like even just creating content, it's like it's got to be engaging in those kinds of things. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
how much content is out there about 89,000 other things?
Yeah. I mean, even if you look on YouTube for like CrossFit channels, it's like compared to like NBA channels or like MLB channels, it is like minuscule compared to like all the other like YouTube channels. It's insane.
Yeah, like that's the
Uh,
thing. It's just it's gonna take time. Like it's not
mhm.
a perfect pill. It's like we have to find a way to keep it going because like at the end of the day, nobody wants to lose this. Like I think the sport of CrossFit is amazing and beautiful in and of itself.
Yep. Yep. I mean, look what branched off of it. You know, Iron
If you
Tribe
say
is
grid leak, oh god,
no.
I was like,
I'm not saying Grid League. No, but like, but no, Grid League is a competition. It's completely different compared
I
to.
find it very different.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funky. Functional fitness is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, what I do like about their whole like when they do the competitions, all the judges are being paid. And
Yeah, but
also
that
there's
also costs money and you need sponsors and like you're
true,
probably
true,
running
true.
again.
Yeah.
It's like there's many other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so but also I talked to Jeff Zawali. He owns CrossFit Stay Classy CrossFit. So in
Okay.
San Diego.
Yeah.
So he was talking about with his media because he has a big following on TikTok and also like Instagram. And his gym is amazing looking, like the new one he's at right now. But he always said it's his Instagram page for the gym is not about the clients, it's about the future clients that are coming in. And so he's
Yeah.
trying to make it pleasing for possible new members that are coming in. Yeah, it's great
Yeah.
seeing like, you know, Jane Doe did her first pull up, or like,
Yeah.
you know, Carl over here did his first, like, I don't know, like first snatch or first dumbbell snatch or whatever, like ringing the bell. That's great. But it's like, it's not attracting future potential more clients. And that's
Yeah.
not going to really help CrossFit in it pretty much.
Yeah. And it's hard to use like again, so many different ways to use social media and like how many different type of fitness experiences are there? Like boutique fitness experiences, like one can argue CrossFit is a unique boutique experience for some people. Then there's Orange Theory, then there's Pure Barre, then there's Soul Cycle. Like if we use those, like they're similar, different, they have their own mediums, and it's just trying to go like figure out what does CrossFit want those things to be. And like I don't really see people from Soul Cycle going into competing in like the Tour de France. Like that's not a thing. Like it's crazy because the story of CrossFit is like, hey, you can just be an affiliate member, and if you want to get serious, like it's going to take some work, but you can go to quarters. You're more than likely going to go to quarters, really have a chance to go to semis, potentially the games, if you really stick to it. Like that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah. So funny story is, my wife and I were thinking about owning a gym, not a CrossFit gym. It was like a boutique gym, like it was like we were just talking about it. We weren't going to pull
like
the trigger.
Anytime fitness kind of idea, or
no, it was like Burn Boot Camp or something like that.
Okay.
So anyway, so we were like just like, hey, what do you think? Or like,
just like usual,
like
hey,
HIIT classes. Yeah.
Okay.
And so because the problem is like there's one in our town, but it's like so packed that like if we go to the other side of the town, it's perfectly fine. So we can get more people there. But I'm like, why don't we go to a CrossFit gym? Like I know the space, I know what I need to do to, coach people and whatnot. And she's like, a lot of people think it's people might be scared of going into a CrossFit gym and possibly doing that workout because they obviously seeing the people from the games and whatnot, they might be like a little weary of like, oh, am I gonna like be like this or look like this? And
the
like,
devil is better than the devil you don't. It's again, it's coming back to marketing, like making sure hopefully HQ is trying to overcome these things. It's like it's what is reality, but what is also manufactured advertising. And the word of mouth is like CrossFit's not safe. We like anybody that's listening to this podcast for the most part knows that's not the case. Like anybody, like you don't need to be doing all the 400, 500 pound deadlifts. Like that's not a normal day. Like that's not affiliate programming. That is not like you're not doing muscle ups every week or every day. It's like you want to learn these skills, like you want to just stick with your pull-ups, like doing strict pull-ups, then going to kipping, and then like butterfly if that's the like progressions, like trying to stay safe. Like at the end of the day, it's trying to like combat metabolic disease and ultimately just have like a lifestyle that allows you to play with your kids, because there's 23 other hours in the day and doing those things. But it's just very tough. Like any gym's gonna like have a tough time at the end of the day.
Yeah, you gotta think that in 1 week working out for 1 hour or even a half an hour is like 0.01% of like that whole week.
Yes.
So, and that's a rough number. I forget. I don't know if that's like the full number.
I would say like, hey, if you're doing 7 hours a week and there is 168 hours, really, like we're just gonna like your very minuscule amount of that. It's like 3%, maybe 3.5%. So that's going to be the tough part. Like, it's just trying to encourage, bring your friends, just, hey, like, let's just watch CrossFit. Like, I'm a huge, like, my background, played lacrosse all growing up. I don't play lacrosse anymore.
Hell yeah.
The NCAA championships are always Memorial Day weekend every year. Always. Just fun to watch. It's just fun to watch. Like, and again, it's anybody want to watch this with me? It's trying to encourage, like, try to find the casuals. Commentary is based for the casuals, not for the diehards.
Yep. And funny you talk about lacrosse. I didn't see the game today. Who won? Do you know?
I didn't watch it. I was like in my truck. Like it would have been played at 1. Like I was in my truck. Like it was going to be played at 1. So I was trying to call people. Like I've never left more voicemails from my friends in my life where it's like, oh, hey man, congrats to you and Jesse on the games. Just want to check in, driving home. See you later. Call Brandon. Brandon doesn't pick up. Hey man, congrats. Hope you have a great day. Tell Chris and I said hi. I'll talk to you later. It's like, okay, cool. Left a voicemail for Dex Hopkins. Then he called me back at least.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was funny. That Saturday, the women's national championship was going on. It was like BC and Northwestern, and so my son is not, I don't know why, like I'm like Bennett, you would, if you play lacrosse, you'd be really good. Like, because you have me that has been played for 23 years and coached for 8. And so, like, just watch a game, like watch, and so he realized that Boston College is playing. So of course he's all about like any Massachusetts sports team. So he's like watching the game, and so
Smart on him.
he's like, is this what guys do? And I'm like, no, it's completely different. But it's
It's
still
way more fun.
yeah, but still it's exciting. So this is exciting. So like the whole time during we were at lunch, we're watching the game, and he was just like laser focused onto the TV for that women's game. And I was like, see,
Yeah.
like if you watch the men's game, it's even better, and you'll have so much more fun if you play it.
Yeah, but it's just getting like it's encouraging like getting people to see that stuff. And it's just trying to like and hopefully he does play. Like at the end of the day, it's just trying to grow the game. Like at one point lacrosse was the fastest growing game in the US. I don't or sport in the US.
Yep.
It's been taken over by something else at this point, but
I think
it's
pickleball.
probably but
Yeah,
it's like at a youth level unlikely,
sure.
but it's just probably it is it's just going to take a lot more courts to get. But to the point, it's just like trying to bring people into the gym, try to grow it that way, because it's you're not gonna just send out an email list and get 50 new members. I don't think that
Mhm.
like and this is just hard because word of mouth is the best thing ever. And we as a society, it's like if you're doing CrossFit, you're probably better than 99.9% of the population on fitness.
Mhm. Yeah. So my question for you, since you're kind of, you're a talking head like me. So how do you think that outside media, like in the CrossFit space, can help grow the brand a little bit better? But like,
Can you
we're not
define outside media for me? Because if we're just gonna like, is that
like,
like the
all right,
ESPN, CBS's,
no, no,
CBS
no, like,
Sports, and
no,
NBC's?
like Be Friendly Fitness, like
Yeah,
those, like the podcasts, like YouTube channels and stuff like that. How would you in your mind, what would grow the sport and benefit, like, podcasts like mine and the Be
yeah.
Friendly Fitness that could kind of like be like a
Dude, Brian,
mutual agreement?
you gotta go to the events. Like, and Brian does that. Like, he is Brian's World Tour 23, and I think he's on 2K24 World Tour. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's shown up to the events. Lauren Khalil's going to the events. It's boots on the ground if you're um, doing those things to make sure you're telling the stories behind the scenes. And again, Savan is Savan, and he does a great job with the behind the scenes. There's nobody in the space that does behind the scenes like he does, especially on the athlete weekend. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
huge fan of the Buttery Bros. They're going to go on their tour of training camps again. I heard them on the broadcast yesterday talking about that, and they're really fun. It's getting them out there, but it's also guys, like you got to be able to pay for your business. You can't just be running these things at a net loss. Like that's also the hard part. It's like they're trying to pay their bills, they're trying to make a living doing these types of things, telling these stories of the athletes and partnering with them. And then it's just trying to find a way to continue to monetize those relationships. So it's not just like, again, like if you're at the top, you're getting paid, like, especially if you're winning. But
Mm-hmm.
dude, if you're just showing up and take it like there's a huge like again it's a business and you got to find ways to pay athletes and there's a steep drop off like even if you're third, like let's just call it what it is. It's like if you're anything after fifth, like it's you're scraping by. And like I think a lot of people are surprised if you go see like, hey, you went to the games but you're coaching an affiliate class the following Tuesday because you traveled home
Mm-hmm.
Monday after the CrossFit games or even semis.
Yeah, they're not
That's
even making
just
close to like a
no.
normal salary just in that one time being there.
Yeah, like that's a tough part. But again, like if we're trying to look at the PC and the Puffs, Brian, Lauren, um, Tommy, the Buttery Bros, like those guys are showing up to events and like not just US events. They're going to Europe, they're going to Australia. They're doing like they're trying to make the most of their trips and making sure that they are actively trying to um, promote the sport in their unique ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I did hear from Dave Castro. I listened to one of his like weekend reviews. And so one of the guys had a question, and he's like, I don't train at affiliate, but here's my question for you. And the Dave was so pissed. He's like, well, first of all, you need to go to affiliate first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and like do
Hopefully
that.
that guy's not just in a garage gym, but again, it's just like it's one of those things like just like CrossFit is built for the community. Show up to the community. Like even if you're just buying a 10 pack of classes or whatever your affiliate is, like just show up on Saturdays. Just go
Yeah.
like once a week. It's just fun to just make some friends and um like just suffer with everybody. Like
Yep.
CrossFit ain't easy, like but the shared suffering really does make it that much better.
Yeah, that's why when I did the open at Northeast Georgia CrossFit, that like I didn't know anybody there. And like, but the good thing about that gym was they called me. Um, I just got a message from Dex. He can't make it, but all good. Um,
Shame,
it's okay.
shame, shame
It's
to
the
my
kid.
brother.
It's the kiddos.
Shame.
So,
Oh.
um, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
my nieces aren't the easiest.
yeah. So anyway, they called me a couple days before the open even started and said, like, and I signed up for a class for I think that Friday morning, and they're like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'm from this CrossFit gym. I saw that you registered at our gym. Like, what are you planning to do?" And like they were very detailed and like questioning, not quite like in a good way, finding out like a little bit more about me
Again,
and
it's
what
running
I'm
a
doing.
business and
So
trying to like make sure like hopefully like you'd sign up as a member. Like obviously you go to someplace closer, you got a family, you got work and stuff to do. Like that is the ideal business experience. Again,
mhm,
it's very hard for people like truly at the end of the day, if you wanted to like if I wanted to just pay my affiliation fee, open up classes in my garage here at my apartment, I can. I won't, but I could.
yeah,
And it's just like that is running a good business. Like the thing is, like you need a business to make money, but at the end of the day, it's about the relationships and how you treat your members and
mhm,
like your community because that's like the things you're telling me right now. Like give me like the you can ask Dex when he comes on about like running it, like working in an affiliate. That's the stuff people need to do. And like, it's like very little stuff that really does go a long way.
oh yeah,
It's
and it's
extra
it's
work, but it does make a big difference.
yeah, and it's mind-boggling that people don't do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. So hold on, let me just text Dex real quick.
No.
Oh, good. All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it's just the little things go a long way, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. It's not hard.
No, it's not.
So
But shout out Hannah Hardy.
yes,
Going going to North America Yeast, baby. She's gonna be at
yeah.
Syndicate Crown this weekend. Super
So
excited about it.
so obviously the East Coast is a little bit more stacked than the West Coast for athletes. So
They all have more qualifying spots.
yeah,
It
they
all
have more
make yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what are you expecting out of the syndicate crown from like, athletes going in who might not make it that you think was in the games last year? Obviously in the female side, there's a lot of females that are not in the semifinals anymore because of like,
Oh yeah.
pregnancy and, back injuries or just like,
So we're
Christ.
excited. Yeah, like at the end of the day, like the exciting part about it is like Tia's back. If there's like a
Yes.
story this weekend, like that is like like I would say that is the story that everyone should be paying attention to. Uh, like that's I feel like everyone's going to ask like, okay, how's she gonna do relative to Laura?
Mm. And actually, I just saw the leaderboard. Ben Smith is in the semifinals.
Okay, so I knew that, and I'm also having the leaderboard in front of me, so we can
Yeah, I'm
look over
literally on my
this.
phone right now, which
So
is I
let's
really poo
start.
poo
Yeah,
that on.
so we are going to look at East. Well, do we? Let's start with the women since I brought up Tia because that's
Yep,
the like
got it.
that's going to be really fun to see. Um, let's see. I'm biased, so shout out my friends Paige, Caroline, McKenna, Jenna Michelati, Austin Spencer, and Brandon True from Misfit Athletics. I'm also a huge fan of Annika Greer. I'm just gonna say it. She's gonna qualify.
Oh, really? Okay. All
Just
right.
calling it. Just throwing out positive vibes to my
Okay.
girl.
Well,
Um,
obviously Emma Lawson's probably bear in mind of injury or anything like that. She's gonna be in.
yeah, like I think that one's gonna. I mean, like the thing is, there's the people that are going to just pick up points because they have games experience. So like an
Mhm.
Amanda Barnhart, shoulder would be a concern. If I'm thinking about Amanda, right? Because that's been a thing all season, and those 15 muscle ups on like day 3 is going to be a rough one. If you're
Yeah.
handstand walking, muscle ups into a very like moderately heavy lunge, and the snatches, like that's a she could have like a pretty good um, first 2 days, and then that could be an unfortunate piece of it. Um,
Yeah. Well,
but
and
then
you also got to worry. You also got to worry about like the family home too, because she just adopted somebody, a child. Was it like 2 years ago, a year ago?
Mhm.
And
I think
so
about a
like,
year.
yeah, because and like that could affect some stuff too as well.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
that can definitely be it. But there's a lot of like Chloe Govan David, Brooke Wells, Ashley Wozni. Like it's just
Alexis
going to be
Raptis, yeah.
Alexis Raptis, DB energy is going to be there. Um, I'm also really excited to see Haley Adams and how she does because it seems like
Um, did you
oh,
see her latest post?
no.
She is ripped,
Yeah, like
absolutely
she's
ripped, like
and that,
just
yeah,
crazy
she's a
fit
naturally
right now.
leaner athlete. So I'm not commenting. I'm personally not commenting on it just because of her like discussions in the past. That's just my thing. I'm just
Yeah.
like glad she looks jacked. I'm sure she's eating a shit ton. Good for her. But it's just like, dude, I think Haley's gonna probably. I'm excited to just see Haley on event 1.
Hmm.
Low key excited.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And also, my question with the run, where are they going to do it? Are they going to do it on like a treadmill or like a assault runner?
I think treadmills are all out. From if they like had that like high rocks ish set up in Asia, um, they're gonna be running. Like that's it. I think it.
Or like the lines at Disney, like back and forth.
Yeah, that's more or less what it is. So just be used to it. I'm sure they're like. I think they have a way of just gonna run outside for a little bit, run back inside, do your clean
Hmm.
and jerks a bunch of times. So it'll be interesting just seeing it. I've never been to Knoxville. I've never seen the basketball stadium that it's in. So, but I'm sure it's going to be like real running. I doubt there's going to be treadmills.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to be stairs involved too?
Sure, like it's you can't like the events. The workouts are written the same. They are different experiences. You cannot compare event 1 of Europe to event 1 of California, or I'm sorry, North America West, purely
Yep.
because of the berm. Like
Yeah.
that's still cool though for those athletes. It's just
Hmm.
sorry, man, you had to run uphill for 200 meters. That kind of sucks. So it's just one of those things where it's is going to be what it is. So
Yeah.
deal with
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Yeah. So do you think Tia is going to dominate, or do you think she's going to like just to pretty much like set the stamp saying, "Hey, I'm
It's going to be
here,"
really
or
tight for the first 2 days. Like the hard part is it takes um, it takes like you start seeing really like the points start being spread out because it's one event Friday, it's 2 Saturday, it's 3 Sunday.
Mhm,
I
yeah.
think it's the people are going to be like, oh, she's not dominating, and it's like you watch it at the end of the weekend, and it's like, okay, there is a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think like Emma Lawson and like maybe Alexis Raptis have a shot of like being on the top of the podium with Tia there, or like anybody else have like maybe an
Oh,
opportunity?
I would say Alexis does, and yeah, actually, you know what? Like, it's going to be a dogfight. It really like, okay, how's that wrist injury? Kind of a big
That's
deal.
that's what
Like,
I was
you
gonna
got to
ask
just
her as
ask.
well.
Like, you
Yeah.
just got to ask. Like, if I'm just trying to predict this, it's like I think Tia's going to do Tia things, and Tia's going to be back.
Mhm. Yeah, she's
So
gonna.
as long as it doesn't flare up, which I don't know much about baby wrist, as I believe what the injury is called. Um, but knowing her, like high level athlete, like her and Matt were always very big on taking care of their bodies. Like as long as nothing crazy happens, like it's just gonna probably be could be a problem, could not be. But it's gonna be Emma and Alexis probably pressing her pretty good. But mm, Haley's going to be really good at a lot of these events. Like Haley probably does have a good shot of being in the top on a podium, but I still think
Yeah.
it's going to be Tia at the top at the end of the weekend.
Yeah. So do you think that with Haley, she's with a new camp, obviously, and she's left Mayhem. So do you think that mayhem kind of burnt her out and with like all the expectations she was getting, or it was just like too much for her? Or...
No, like there's people at Mayhem. It's like, no, she got a new coach. She found like she took time away. She clearly learned a lot about herself, worked on herself, and objectively it looks like she's having fun.
Yeah.
Like having a very fun time training. So I'd be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be real worried.
Yeah.
If people are thinking she's written off, like she is back.
Yeah. If anybody looked at her latest post, it's insane. Like she's like a comp week, and I was like, damn, like she looks really fit, really fit. So
Yeah.
I mean, I could pull it up right now, but I won't. But anyways, so do you have a dark horse possibly in the women's side that may have a shot of getting into the CrossFit Games that maybe no one else thinks they may?
No.
I'm
Nope.
looking right now.
Right now, it's like, here's the thing. My dark horse is purely Annika Greer, and she's not a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about her that's like people. She's no name, and I am like all in on her making it. I think like Caroline Prevost, like that's the thing. It's like just a really deep field. If anybody's gonna really show up, like it's McKenna Enslin. I have a feeling like she's gonna like really put on like a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a big thing for her. I think people are going to be shocked when she shows up.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely look into that. All right. Let's go to the guys real quick. Let's see.
Okay.
I don't know I don't know. Like we can go teams
Luke
too.
Parker. No, it's like we'll hit the men. Like I think at the end of the day, men's side, like I'm just gonna say that I think Dallin and Adler for the weekend. Adler's probably gonna end up winning. And I can't, like Roman's there, like that. It's like it's just gonna be. I'm excited to see Travis.
Yeah.
Because I think Travis is going to go back to the games this year, and everything. I think he has a very good chance. But Jack Farlow, he's going to be a fun name just to see like how much he's really starting to round out himself.
Yep. Yeah.
And then shout out to my boys, Marquand Jones.
Oh, he's
Austin
back
Spencer.
in? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Right.
What? No. He never left. Well, he never left.
I'm sorry.
No. Now I get to get you for that one. Nope, never left. So super excited to see Quan do his thing this weekend. Austin Spencer is going to be there. I think like these events, like he's going to really have a fun time.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to see Austin back in the games too. So
yeah,
super
pumped
awesome.
for him.
Yeah.
Yep. So then we got like I think Dre from Mayhem. Like he has a lot of team experience the past couple years, so he'll be fun. Luke Parker is really continues like from where I thought he was to where he is right now. I think he's in really good shape. I think it'll be cool to see what he does. But again, if there's somebody I'm rooting for to get to the games, it's Christopher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's never been. He's been close, but not.
Did he
not
go
there
in 2019?
I always
forget. I'm checking. I'm already doing it.
What do you think about? What do you think about Jorge Fernandez? Do you think he has? He went to the games 2020.
Yeah, on team last year with Invictus. So it's like I think he's gonna have a. Yes, he has the experience, but again, it's like 11 spots. How many people went to the games there? Like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, a lot.
So,
a lot.
Like that's the big thing for me at the end of the day.
Well, even Devin Kim, she went individual from the teams last year from Invictus. She made it to like she placed like 23rd or something like that last this weekend.
Yep.
And so
and
Mike
she's also had dealing with a back injury.
Well,
I
that's what I was
think.
gonna say. I'm like,
Yeah.
she didn't go team because of a back issue, but yet you go individual where it's more taxing on the body compared to the team.
Yeah. It's again, but it's like, hey, like my friends in the military, like if you're having a flare up, you can't tie your shoes. Like this is all if you're having back issues, it's are you good that weekend or are we not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. But let's go to the teams real quick. Obviously, we're hoping for Hannah Hardy and her group. Actually, I don't even know if there we go. Um hopefully her team makes it to the CrossFit games.
Yep.
So I don't really obviously CrossFit Krypton's there, CrossFit Mayhem. I don't know. I mean, I really don't really follow that many teams as much as I should, but obviously Peak 360,
CrossFit
that
Milford's gonna have a banger of a team. They always
yeah.
do. Um, I would also say 12 Labors is gonna have
Mm,
a team that shows up. Um, and the like CrossFit Soul, like usually always has one. It'll be really fun to see how the Mayhems team do,
mm-hmm.
and Ocean State. I think those are going to be some teams that come out of there. But I'd be next to let's see who's on. Like especially, yeah. I think we're going to see Mayhem back at the games this year.
Yeah.
Not worried.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah, I don't even know CrossFit Southie White. I've never heard of that. Like, obviously, they might be from South Boston. So,
You think,
yeah, yeah.
Mister Massachusetts?
Just throwing it out there.
Just a guess. Just throwing this out there.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
team is Hannah on?
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at Southie, Frank Minervini. Like, he's very fit. I believe. Give me a second.
Because she's not with TTT, I don't think.
No,
No.
no. She's I found. Yeah, it's CrossFit Addict. AJ,
Okay.
Hannah, Justin Riedelbach, who's been on numerous teams and was on a team with Hannah before she went to Florida, and
Mhm.
Melissa Hoof.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're hoping for that team to make it. So,
Positive vibes only.
yes, positive vibes only. So,
I'm excited
giving
to see
you,
them on that overhead squat workout.
yeah. So, do you, so do you see like a lot of like more people like interested in the teams or like for when they during semifinals, or is it just like mainly just all individual?
Well, it's
If you go to like the
if I'm trying to be
semifinals.
like, you know what, fuck it. CrossFit never gave a shit about teams, and they consistently just still don't care because they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna have you compete only on 2 days. It's like, hey, and we're gonna make you take a PTO day to show up. It's like, guys, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely frustrating when I can say this having watched it. Like teams, so much fun to watch because you're trying to coordinate a ton of stuff, especially when it gets to worms and synchro work. It's really fun to watch, and it's just disappointing because the coverage, like they deserve the
Non-existent.
coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's really frustrating that they keep getting the shaft on it. Honestly,
Yeah. I mean, I would say like, yeah, maybe not the coverage for like masters and like teens as much as like, teams, or like indie people at the games, but like, yeah, masters, like everyone was like, oh, or even the adaptive too. They're like, oh, we should get a platform too. But here's the problem: like, no one's gonna watch really. Like, who wants to see
I
a,
like I would. Here's the thing: no, people want to watch. It's their families. Like if you want to watch, show up. Like
yeah.
it's again, we need to keep creating these spaces so we don't lose the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not going to stop banning. Like people want to watch it. We can't say people don't because there are people out there that want there. Again, the NBA wasn't super popular up until the 80s, and then it kept taking off with Larry, Magic, and MJ.
Yeah.
And then LeBron, and then Kobe, LeBron, Steph, like everyone else is carrying the torch, but it keeps growing and growing and growing. WNBA started in the 90s, and it's now like a lot of people are like really the normies of the people are now starting to give a shit about the WNBA. It's been around for like 25 years, guys. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like it's one of those things like we can't just create it overnight. It's keep showing up and keep doing the damn thing.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I just hope the masters and teams get like even the adaptive too as well.
I'm
Like
going to
get
Masters. I am going to Masters and
oh nice.
Quad Wheel Games with Kevin Ogar. Like they do a phenomenal job with all of them.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Alabama at the end of August. Be in the corner for one of my best friends in the, or not honestly my best friend in the entire world, Dex Hopkins.
Yeah. I mean, I wish he came on, but all good. But yeah, I just hope that at least the masters get to grow more because those are the people that have the money compared to the other people. And so they need to grow that a little bit better to get more money coming in.
We
So
gotta keep doing it. Like it's not just a single year thing.
yeah,
That's the most
definitely.
important piece.
Yeah. So we're getting close to the end. So what are your final thoughts? And we'll do the rapid fire questions for you since Dex is not here.
Okay. Well, do we want to do rapid fire questions and then final thoughts?
Sure, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I obviously you talked about 275 snatch, but what are your
Yeah.
goals business wise and personal wise?
So I am looking to get a promotion at my job before the end of the year. So working on that right now. Um, let's see what else. Then okay, so that's a professional. Like CrossFit wise, I want to snatch 275 by the end of the year. Personally, I am trying to just lose some dumb weight that I picked up over the past year. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Like I wish I could say like there was something like really like just to get back into something else. Like no, that's my other personal goal is just to focus on my own nutrition.
Yeah. So how is that going to affect the snatch? Do you think,
It's gonna,
sometimes like people,
dude, it's gonna work beautifully
yeah.
for me
Okay.
because
All right.
all essentially I'm just gonna start like just I know it's gonna actually end up working. Like it, people like you're losing weight, but you're getting stronger. It's like yeah, that's actually what happens when you eat like a more balanced, robust like diet full of protein and carbs with minimal fats.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. Okay. So next question. What is in your gym bag?
Currently in my gym bag is a tripod for my iPhone, my weight belt, and then my back. Like the rest of my backpack is like a pair of lifters and like barbell clips, tape, like the CrossFitters, the pseudo like quarterfinal starter kit. Let's just call it that.
What kind of clips do you have?
The Rogue Oso clips.
Okay.
They used to be Oso, then they got bought by Rogue. They're really great. Like the plates don't slide. That's my favorite part about them.
Yeah. I bought some collars off of Amazon and they have like the rubber on the inside of the collar. So it's
Mhm.
like it's almost like the Rogue the oh what is it? The Rogue grip collars or whatever like they have. And
Yep,
so they just snatch in and they don't move anything at all.
gotta
And
love
it's
them.
like it's amazing because I've been to a bunch of gyms with their clips and it is not pretty, especially when you're doing multiple reps and dropping
Man,
the weight at the top.
gotta
So
everybody's using them, and if they got a very busy affiliate, that's what's gonna happen. That's why. Hey, if you want nice things, bring your own.
yeah, yeah. But all right, next question. So if you had a chance to get a sponsor, what what would be a good sponsor for you and like how would you like help their relationship out?
So if I'm looking for a sponsor, like just like of
Any
probably in
anything.
the CrossFit space. Like the
Sure.
thing is, it's like I grew up a Nike person. Like everybody wants Nike as their like, but that's not believable. I
Hmm.
would say like if I'm right now and I want anybody to sponsor me, like I would love to have um Rad. I think they're like streetwear based marketing campaign with their athletes and their shoes is probably some of the best marketing I've seen in CrossFit lately. Like, and
Hmm.
that's like just absolutely like, that's more or less why they've taken over, I think, in the space of why people like they're like the cool people shoe to
Yeah.
me now. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not a shot at the other brands that are out there. But I would like buy their products, tag them on Instagram, try to be creative and be a little bit different from what they're already doing in the space. Like if I'm
Hmm.
trying to like actively work with them, like I think their runners are great and I've run in them 2, 3 times a week.
Okay.
But that's like it's trying to create content to do it, but also knowing it's very difficult to like get eyeballs on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And also, I believe brute strength is brute. Well, I don't know what to call him brute, but brute's using the marketing team from Rad for their marketing
Oh,
help for their program.
yeah, which is great. Like
Yeah.
individualized programming. Like I like what I see come through my feed every now and again. It's awesome. It's just trying to make sure like how are you being different than the other programs and everything in the space.
Yeah. And
Like if you're gonna do those kinds of things, it's always like how are you being different?
I love their market. I love Rad's marketing. The way they do like the 80s style like theme and like all of the motions and graphics and stuff like that. It
It's
is
all
top
skateboarding. It's
top notch.
all
Yeah.
all skateboarding, and that's what one of my favorite parts about their entire thing.
Yeah, yeah. Last question. So, actually, no, second to last question. Sorry. So let's just say it's your last day on Earth. Um, how do you want people to know you as?
A guy that was extremely loyal and showed up for his friends, no matter what.
Which is completely true. So completely
I
true.
would hope so.
Yeah. Like if all right. So for the listeners that are listening to this, Xander knows so many people in the CrossFit space. Like I'm like, how the hell does he know all these people? It's insane. He's like, oh, I can get you this person. I can get you this person. It's like he knows he's well versed in the CrossFit space, and I'm surprised he doesn't come on any other podcast. Like he doesn't get on any other podcast.
I'm just not that like I like people that enjoy like my content, enjoy my content. Like I was driving in the car today, and I have a very close one of my favorite people in the world. Nick O'Sullivan has like at Nick O'Sully on Instagram. He has got 200,000 followers. He's super successful and didn't ask for 200,000 followers. Like that was never his goal. He's a great photographer and videographer.
Yeah.
He's a way better human being. Like I just am genuine and just kind of how like if you see my stuff online is usually how I'm going to be in real life. Like I'm not going to
Mhm.
just change it up. Like I did back squats to Pia Mia this today. I was probably posting about Metallica last week. Those two things don't go together. Like I like listening to Chris Brown. Like I am genuinely the person. Like I enjoy making the content that makes me laugh, and I'm not gonna try to just. I'm not a huge person that likes flamboyant takes. Nick doesn't do that. Nick works ass off with his business partner Jeremy, who's also a close friend of mine. They got a great business. You do it the natural way. If you're more like the more authentic you are, the more authentic the friendships and the relationships that will show up for you,
Mhm.
and you'll bring the most out of them with everybody that you're with.
Yeah. True. Facts. So where can people reach out to you if they have any questions?
I'm on Instagram exclusively at arfbark, AWRFBARK. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, concerns, just want to rant about what I post on my story. It's usually music and a lot of Snoopy.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, so how did that Snoopy thing come along? Like you just been a big fan ever since you were a kid?
Yeah, because Snoopy is the greatest dog of all time.
True.
Like,
True.
come on now. Like everyone grew up on peanuts. Like Snoopy and Woodstock are like peanut butter and jelly to me.
Hmm.
Never get stale. Always, always around. Just always going to bring a huge smile to your face. And I'm going to
Yep.
find some creative song to hopefully put on the whatever Instagram post I find that day. So I will
Yep.
beat that into the absolute ground because I have a baby face, but I am a child at heart.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yep. Definitely. All right. Final thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
I'm like super like happy with how these workouts are going at semis. I think they're like really well programmed. I'm really excited to see who that rounding out of the games field this weekend, specifically coming out of North America East. Paige goes back, Caroline goes back, and watching Annika punch her ticket for the first time. I'm really excited to see how this entire thing shakes out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the East. So,
What is Tom's final thoughts?
I don't know. Just maybe I'm just looking forward to the East region and seeing seeing who's gonna climb the leaderboard and make it, or who's gonna fall, or I don't know. My thing is like, how many people are going to get popped if they get popped?
There's going to be somebody. I can almost bet you it's coming out of non-North America and non-Europe.
True. Yeah. So
that's which is a sad thing to say, but it's like, it's going to be, and honestly, it's probably going to be a teams athlete.
Yeah.
Like, and so, it's not, hopefully not bad. It's, they weren't blatantly trying to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, just looking forward to seeing that. And next weekend, just hopefully getting a chance to watch more content for CrossFit and produce more content, and try to keep the kiddos busy because they are out of school. So since Wednesday.
What can I do? It's like, go outside. You can only say it so many times.
Yeah. I want to play Fortnite. No, you've already played it for like the past like couple hours already. So
how about new?
Yeah. But all right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you later. Peace.
Appreciate you.